Hello? Are we on? Are we after? Or what? Fuck it! Do it live! That's right. That was what J. Edgar Hoover said one time when he was chasing my cousin Pretty Boy Floyd. He said, fuck it! Do it live! And then he shot him while they fought with fish with legs. And proto-croco chants. And dinosaurs running around. Evoluting into ferns and shit. And it was like, no. Okay, so much for the early history of America. So what we got is Maurice Dice on TMZ again, my peeps. That's right. We got him on there again. So that was snapper. He did not go insane. And thank you, Silver G, for sending that over. I was unaware that Maurice had done another interview. I do not know about the RT interview unless it was one of the older ones or something. I don't know. But at least it's better than Maurice interviewing himself while screaming about Molex, the Hoot Owls, and, running outside naked down the street, at 3 in the morning, chasing Illuminati, yeah, they're coming for me. Anyway, I don't know, evidently it wasn't a very long segment, but it was over Google glasses that do stuff and, no thank you. But the point is, it's not that it's not interesting technology. I would just much rather they tree pan your fucking empty coconut and shove a chip in. That'll fix it. I'll let you have all the knowledge you ever wanted right before you went crazy and started chasing hoot owls down the fucking street. Anyway, as Silver G put it in his latest Maurice Dice video, there are, fake conspiracies, conspiracies, and there are real conspiracies, and then there's just reality or a fact. One day, Maurice might get into the fact of the matter, this, yes, Governor. I've been watching way too much fucking Craig Ferguson, right? I don't call him the Ferguson, I call him the Fergal-Lerdelson, okay? And he's got Jeff Peterson, damn, is that his name? The gay robot skeleton, which is odd because you can't possibly be gay if you're a dead robot skeleton. And technically, you can't really be a skeleton if you're metal because he has a metal mohawk. So it's more like Jeff, the Price is Right tag wearing super metal sidekick, overclocked coffee pot during the zombie apocalypse. I think that would be his designation. I could be wrong. He could be like a Cub Kubota tractor. He could be, one of those, a little John Deere front end loader. You know you love it. But the really good thing that Fergal-Lertels does is when they do their fucking impressions, and they do excellently screwed up impressions, and one of them was the Italian Bill Clinton, and I cannot do it right, but I laugh every time I hear it, right? And it's, do you want to hear my Italian Bill Clinton? It's, what's a coming and a going, meatballs? What's a coming and a going? I can't do it. Every time I think about Bill Clinton, I want to punch somebody's cat in the fucking face like Grumpy Cat. Get that motherfucker off my intertubes. Somebody go fucking send the CIA to go whack the fucking Grumpy Cat so I don't have to see that shit no more. That sumbitch is depressing. He looks at you with this frowny face bullshit, and you're like, shut up, cat! And then you realize it's the internet, and you shouldn't probably be hollering at a fucking picture. But everybody shares that motherfucker, and it's like, nobody cares about Grumpy Cat. Go away. Get out of here. Because tomorrow there'll be a slightly saddened Salamanza later, and it'll be a big thing, and nobody fucking cares. Because this is the internet hate machine, dear friends. This is not. Good times on the computer boxes. No, negatory. Negatory. All right, so that being said, I am not covering the interview. Silver G covered it just fine. Silver Guitar. 25.99.71. Age of Aquarius. But the deal is, yes, Maurice Dice did a very good interview, or whatever you'd like to call it. I don't know how he got in on there, but the deal was at least it was in. At least he's got a fast enough fucking internet connection, right? Wouldn't you know, the one place on the planet where they make porn has the fastest fucking internet in the entire known fucking world. Fucking California. Can't get the internet nowhere else, Let's not study no fucking cheetahs in Africa and run us a goddamn DSL line. No, the porn valley's gotta have it. It's gotta have all of it. Every fucking chunk of bandwidth known to man is going to that, and that alone. They have 3/4-inch intertube pipes going in and out of there. So, anyway, moving along, I wanted to discuss TV shows. Because I noticed, and it's not discuss, I just noticed, that there's quite a few TV shows popping up now, and I think they're good ones. All right? Now, I know some of you hate the TV or dislike the TV. I am not a person that hates the TV because I know what the TV is. It, A, responds to your direct ass hurt on the internet hate machine. Okay? So it automatically goes, ooh, squeebangos, squawk, falcon punch to the balls. We'll put that on TV. 2, it's behavior modification, social reconstruction. Every time I watch a TV show, I think of that fucking gif with President Obama clapping his hands. Yeah, somebody at Harvard's beating off to this shit. Yeah, what the fuck can we push today? Let's make them want Oscar Mayer fucking baloney because we've got an overage. We need to get it moved. Yes, the beauty of fucking corporate college, right? Anyway, on with the TV show list. This isn't a whole list. I don't watch that fucking much TV. Son! But there are some that are left out. Like The Middle. The Middle with the janitor off of Scrubs. That's not a bad show. And the wife off of Everybody Loves Raymond. That's not a bad show. It's a watchable TV show. I don't know a lot of TV shows, so you just get the fuck over yourself. Remember that the majority of your time should be spent in pursuit of possibly watching Adult Swim. Yeah, Metalocalypse, buddy. Which, also, ERB is starting to become one of my favorite sidelines when it's fucking, you ain't got nothing to do, right? You've cleaned the game theory board, It's all down to ass hurt and throbbing starfishes. And go over to epic rap battles and watch some fucking videos. Because I liked them. I like them. Sorry. That's the way that goes. It's not all of them are good. But then again, what is your determination of good? Knowing that I don't keep up with any music. I do not know who the fuck Tupac is. I swear to God. All right. All I know is on my TV, it told me one time that Biggie Smalls got shot and Tupac got shot. And it's like, who? I do know who the Insane Clown Posse is, only because it was on my internubs hate machine. That's right, my interniblets hate machine. It was a blip on my radar. But anyway, there are some interesting bands out there. Jimmy Velvet. Yeah, Jimmy. A shout out for Jimmy because I know Jimmy myself. That's right. I hate every bone in your body except mine. Jimmy Velvet. Anyway, moving along. Touch. Yep, that's the name of the TV show. It's got Kiefer Sutherland in it. And the only thing, for some reason, when I had him in it, I was like, because I don't know what 24 is or none of that shit, right? I never watched The Sopranos. A couple times I saw Dexter, and I thought that was okay, but kind of weird that you be promoting a fucking serial killer until you realize it's a serial killer going after serial killers, which is only a slight justification right there. There's the one about the school teacher making meth. I actually watched a couple of them. That wasn't a bad show. But that's it. HBO had one called Rome. I watched one of those. That was interesting. Something called Deadwood, but I never saw any of them. Had a friend watch some of them, said it was interesting. Other than that, I'm sorry, kids. I don't know that all this other shit. Anyway, like I've never in my life seen Keeping Up with the fucking Kardashians or Real Housewives, but the Dish TV thing that comes on after TMZ tells me about this shit, and it's like, stop it, goddammit. Behavior modification. And then you're like, well, that was funny, actually. Well. Okay, anyway. So Kiefer Sutherland is on Touch, and every time I see him, the first fucking thing I think about is his dad in Kelly's Heroes telling that old boy, don't send your fucking negative brainwaves to me, man. Don't send your negative brainwaves. And every time I see one of these stupid fucking we are the universe is one, that's the first fucking thing I think of, is some asshole going, send me your fucking brainwaves, man. Send them here. Send them over here. Like men who stare at goats, that type of shit. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's a good movie, though. Kelly's Heroes. Classic. Okay, anyway. Touch is pretty good, and it deals with mathematical-based prognostication. Or does it? Ooh, it doesn't. They're holding out on you. That's right. I did the game theory work on it. They're holding out on you. Anyway, it's actually not a bad show. They got into somebody chasing them around, now going to whack them out. Hey, got to have it. So far, it's been good. I didn't think it was going to get re-upped, but it did. I'm glad they re-upped it. Give Kiefer Sutherland a full fucking time job, son. Anyway, moving along. Grimm. Why, NBC? I think it was NBC. Why did you fuck me on Grimm, NBC? That pisses me off. That does. And it was doing some interesting stuff on basically how you can see monsters in society, but you got, hidden personalities, and the old boy that plays the Grimm. And by the fucking way, the old boy that plays his police captain in the show was in a damn episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's right. And I was like, what the fuck? That dude's pretty cool. What the fuck is he doing? Right in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Which I had never seen until they put that sumbitch on at 3 in the morning. Okay. Don't know about you, but dealing with thieves and drug dealers and shit, sometimes you're up late at night, right? Didn't know if you knew that. Game theory work and shit takes quite a while, so you work during the day and you stay up most of the night. Didn't know if you knew this shit. Well, the deal is, I got to stay awake somehow. Always Sunny in Philadelphia keeps me awake. It makes no sense most of the time. It doesn't. It doesn't, but that's fine with me. It makes more sense than 12-ounce mouse, however. Okay. Or Assy McGee or whatever in the fuck super jail is. I don't get it. I don't get it. That has to be for people that are fucking wasted, drunk, or stoned. Because it doesn't make no sense. Anyway. Grimm is supposed to be back this coming month. All right? They got all kinds of shit, like hexen beasts, which is witches, and the royal family, right? They got a royal family class in there, right? Old school family, right? You'll love this shit. And it's some kind of lizard. Because they only kind of showed the guy kind of turning lizardy like once. But they also did have dragons. which are real, by the way, and I can prove that because I did prove it on my video. Remember that video that one time where I proved dragons is real? Okay. The neighbors. Basically, that one's just the aliens are your neighbors, right? Or these people's neighbors, right? Okay. Really, really easy show. Not a bad show. Pretty funny show. Humans move into a gated community full of them. And from time to time they screw up and they say that they're going to try to take over the world. The aliens. Not a bad show. It's like Third Rock, high class. It's not a bad show at all. Actually, no. And the way they dress is fucking crazy. I can't. It's like a mix between the fucking 50s and like their imagination. It's like, what? Who the fuck comes up with that? You know? But anyway, you'd have to watch it. Even the kids dress like that shit. And you're going, wow, really? Everybody dresses like that shit from like the 50s or 60s. Driving golf carts around. Anyway, it's a good show. And actually, I guess you would say if you were into fashion, it's an interesting deal. It is. Because the wife of the alien, the black gal, always has like an odd tennis skirt thing on. Or not odd. That's probably not the way of saying it. But, you know, wear like a tennis skirt with one of those little thin white belts. And you're going, damn, nobody's wore that in fucking 40 years. You know? I'm not saying she can't pull it off. I'm saying when you see it, it's like, and the dad, you know, wearing damn near butterfly collar shirts, son. Damn near. Wow. And it works. That's all I can do. Anyway, moving along. We spent too much time on that one. All right, here's the one that is important. Every fucking one of you kooks. And when I heard them actually say it, okay, it blew my mind. Also, don't forget, because it's on right now, and I got it muted, but it is Sherlock Holmes, or Elementary. And it's got Lucy Liu. Lucy Liu. That's correct. And I don't know the old boy that plays Sherlock Holmes, but that's a good one. That's not a bad show at all. Very interesting. What? Because he actually does a little bit of game theory. Well, let's say, Sherlock, your presumptive skills are amazing. I wished I had skills like that. That sumbitch could win the lottery. You'll find cop shows or crime dramas and stuff are kind of like that. You know what I mean? Because nobody wants to sit around and watch an hour of just some motherfucker going, well, that's all the information we actually got. We can't proceed with the case. No, this is TV. Okay, so anyway, that's a good show. But anyway, back to what I was saying. The show is called, and it's got the dude from ER on it. I don't know his freaking name, man. The dude with glasses. He's a little thin on top with the hair. Anyway. Anthony Edwards? I don't know. Anyway, he was the doctor dude off of ER, and the show is called 0 Hour. Okay? Now stop. Right off the top, I didn't even get to see the whole first fucking show. I didn't get to see it. Right off the top, Rosicrucians. And you're going, what the fuck? Rosicrucians on my TV? It's more likely than I think. What the fuck is this? And, of course, the conspiracy has to do with chasing around Nazis. You got Nazis in there, Catholic Nazis that are Rosicrucians. Tonight's episode had Einstein in it, who somehow ended up being a kind of a Catholic Rosicrucian thing. It's like, what the fuck? And they're open about it. They're open about it. The black dude in that show that's running with the Edwards dude, right, is in Alien 3. I can't remember his name. I like him as an actor. He's the one that, you know, at the very end, you know, he gets eat up by the alien, but he tries to beat him up. You know, because he got a good William Wallace moment in that movie, Alien 3. The prison one on the prison planet. Okay? Anyway. they're chasing a big conspiracy there, and basically they got chasing around a bunch of clocks. Yeah, no, I don't know either, motherfucker. What you asking me for? I ain't seen them all. All right, there's only been like 3 of the bastards on. All right, now that being said, that being said, it basically states in the show that the Pope, in order to whack the Nazis, right? Okay, creates a new set of 12 apostles and hand off these crazy cuckoo clocks with stuff in them, like a code in them, during World War II. All right, now there's tons of symbology in here, and they even have a Nazi submarine at the North Pole that he goes and he looks at. Okay, now hold on. You find out in one of these episodes, there's a flashback in this episode, that the dead Nazi that was in the sub is basically the Edwards dude that's chasing everybody around now. Okay, now the deal was, when they decode what Albert Einstein had written down in one of the formulas, when they decoded, in case you didn't know about encryption, decryption stuff. I don't. CIA and NSA do that shit. Go try that 4-paneled thing they got out in front of their building. Try to decode that shit. Smart ass. Watch your fucking head come unglued. I ain't no computer. Just a bunch of jibble jabble jibbery jabber up on there, right? Supposedly, there's only been 3 of those 4 panels ever decrypted, and supposedly the 4th panel tells you where something is. That's the conspiracy. And yes, that's real. Go onto the CIA website and go look at that. I spent a while trying to do it, but I don't have a feel for encryption. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't. I don't at all. Dead Latin's good enough for me. I'll leave it there. All right, moving along. The show kind of hints at this, and I don't want to say it, but I know what they're going to say. I know what you're going to say. The show. I know what it's going to come down to being. The bell. That's what it's going to come down to being. That conspiracy bullshit theory that was never proved. The bell. That's right. Because in there, they said, well, the apostles, new apostles, they were worried about the Nazis inventing something that would make God irrelevant. A time machine would do that. And supposedly the bell was it. Or, and they never tell you about the Spear of Destiny on the choo-choo train to Berlin and the Americans getting a hold of it. Anyone who holds the Spear of Destiny can't go down in flames. And you'll say, but what is the Spear of Destiny? That was supposedly the spear that was stuck in Jesus, make sure he was dead. Now, there's supposedly 4 in existence. Each of the 4, they think, have actual spear parts from the original spear in them. Okay? Wood. Okay? Wood, or possibly one of the heads. The deal is, they can't tell which one. I don't know who has them either, but I imagine the Vatican spent some time finding out. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so that's an interesting show. People work in the Spear of Destiny somewhere. In fact, Grimm had a badass show episode where they were, or actually more than one, where they were chasing 3 coins. And I've never heard any type of, well, it's just me. I don't know every conspiracy theory ever fucking made, or every story or rumor. But they supposedly had like these 3 coins, right? And they're in a box, and if you get a hold of the coins, you'll become super powerful, but you also go crazy, and you're fucking like, insane. And it shows some old footage of Adolf Hitler there, and he was one of them that had one of the coins. And it's like, what? Anyway, it was interesting. Revolution. That was on for a while. That was an interesting show. I don't know if that's coming back or not. That's basically magically society collapses and everybody runs around insanely, and then supposedly some scientists figure out, a group of scientists figure out how to turn the power back on, and they create these little gizmos in pendant forms. Of course, symbology. And anyway, I know the answer to that one. See, what you think is that when you push the pendant, you can turn the power back on. No, I'll bet you 10 to 1 it doesn't actually create power. I bet you the pendants stop whatever it is from stopping electricity from working, from being transmitted. The pendant frees it up. Like you get a signal that's blocking, like you got heavy EMP radiation long term, and what the pendant does is negate that, nullify that, so electricity can work. How much you want to bet that's what it is? Anyway, and basically the militia takes over the U.S. Little robber barons crop up and stuff. They had some good times there. It's not bad. I don't know about Once Upon a Time. I think it's a knockoff of Grimm. I like Grimm anyway. That's too bad. Hope they leave it up. Okay, here's one. I don't know if you know this, but I know a dude at O'Reilly's Auto Parts that looks exactly like Kevin Bacon. Exactly like him. Freaks you out, right? Awesome dude. Always nice. You go in there and say, I need me some stuff. And you want to say, I need some oil filters, man, Kevin Bacon. You want to say that, but you don't do it. But anyway, he's an all right dude. The show with Kevin Bacon in it is called The Following. All right, that's just Kevin Bacon's FBI bust up a serial killing kook. His ass goes to the Pokey Town permanently, and basically the serial kook runs a Ponzi scam on his culties outside prison, getting them to do shit. It's kind of like the Manson deal. Yeah, for reals. That one's not that far off the mark when you watch it. In a lot of ways. It's a good show. But they gave him a pacemaker, man, so he's got to slow down. Oh, I got a pacemaker, you know. Well, seriously, go forward in the future there in your show and write him in a better pacemaker. So his ass can go, wha-cha, and do like Raw Dog at a job interview. Job ninja. Except that's the FBI chasing a serial killer. Wha-cha, wha-cha. Now, I like Criminal Minds, of course. The kid that does game theory on it, Goobler. Matthew Gray Goobler. I'm sorry, I ain't got his name right. Anyway, I like that show. It used to have Manny. Oh, shit, what's his name? He was on the TV show Dead Like Me, where the toilet seat kills that girl coming out of the space station. You know, it comes all the way out, and the toilet hits her in the head. Anyway, the guy that was on there, Mandy Patinkin, was originally on Criminal Minds. Then they've got the other guy that was off of... I'll remember here in a minute. I don't know why I can remember this shit. It's worthless fucking information. Joan of Arcadia. Boop! See, I know my shit. The dad. But I can't remember his name. It's an all right show. I don't mind it. They do a lot of cultish con men, stuff like that. Anyway, The Following is a little bit better because it shows how cults work in a way. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, and strict emotionalism, you know, the shysters, interaction, faith sale, and how they make sleepers or people that you do not think are kooks. All right. Infiltrators. How about that? You know, like how do you put a guy long-term into an organization as a sleeper, etc. The Mentalist is always a good show. Yeah, it's like Darren Brown. But I can't remember the old boy's name that does it. He's an Australian dude that does it. That show's a good show. And he's a con man that goes good. He does interesting behavior modification stuff. Anyway, they got The Taste with Anthony Bourdain. By the way, if you didn't know this, Anthony Bourdain is a drunk, lush, driving around the world son of a bitch that's been to more fucking hooker hostels than I could imagine. And he's awesome. He's awesome. The Taste is a typical cooking show, except how they do the taste test, which is very good. Okay, which is very good. And that should be kind of a borrowing of Alton Brown. Is it Alton Brown that did his if you don't know it's from McDonald's and this is from a restaurant? Well, not McDonald's, let's say like this. That one is a steakhouse that costs $200. This one is from your grill. If you don't know, you do your taste test and then you figure out which one's which. And anyway, the point was, that's kind of like how they did that, how they picked their cooks and everything. But yes, Anthony Bourdain is a drunk bastard that I like. He eats and likes some weird shit. But he knows the seedy underbelly of every fucking civilization on this planet. Yes, he does. So, if you were hung up and you're like, I don't know what to eat, I've got a choice of anything, I can eat it right now. And, the genie gives you 3 wishes. It's like, bring me Anthony Bourdain. I can't go wrong with that. Let's eat some pig snouts. It's like, fuck, I picked the wrong one. That was a joke. Okay? But Alton Brown used to not be on Iron Chef. He did his driving across the country eating. I like that. I like Guy Fieri that does diners, drive-ins, and dives. I like that. Because he really does find the bastards that are in the middle of nowhere that's good eating. Right? Serious. You people don't know what the fuck good eating is. Greasy spoon, motherfucker. Go find out in the back of nowhere, find you a little place and sit down and eat. I've eaten at places that technically should have never been open. They was that messy. But the food was good. All right. Anyway, Alton Brown I don't think has a show anymore. But he was interesting. Of course, he did that for years. He carried the Food Network for quite a while by himself. I don't know about it now. I really don't. I don't know movies. The last movie I watched was Judge Dredd. Dredd, the new one. Which, by the way, I'm going to do a video over. I'm going to fuck with the coconut. Doo-dah, doo-dah. There's a conspiracy in there that you didn't catch. Do you know what it is? No, don't put it in don't put it in my comment section because you're going to be wrong. I know what the conspiracy is, and I'm going to show you. Shouldn't take me 1 minute and 30 seconds and 45 seconds. Well, actually, 50 seconds will be the intro. That's the way I roll. Anyway, I don't know about the music world, but I'm with Silver G. These idiot rappers and fucking Momo heads like, shit. Who was it I was talking to? I got to throw this out here. I was talking to someone on YouTube, and the conversation come up. If you were hung up between screwing Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga, and I thought, why the fuck is this conversation happening? But I'm going to go with this. Which would you do? And now I know now I don't know who Taylor Swift is. I only kind of know who Lady Gaga is. Meat dress lady, right? Crazy lady, right? Weirdo, Marilyn Manson's female version, and he's trisexual, asexual. He reproduces by just singing. The point is, who would you do? Taylor Swift, and yes, this is rude, and I can't do nothing about it because it was so funny. I laughed for a long fucking time. The point was, who would you do? Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga? And the point was, it's like Taylor Swift, it'd be like doing a mop. It'd be like doing a mop. It'd be like doing the old fucking floor broom. You're not gonna get nowhere with it. It's not gonna know what it's doing. Anyway, that being said, she's got like avian bone syndrome. I'd be afraid of busting her ass in half. I don't know nothing about her music, okay? I don't care. That's like the one that was on Disney. My fucking niece and my niece and nephew watched that one. She's Billy Ray Cyrus's daughter. Miley? Yeah. I don't understand it. Don't ask me questions. I don't know these fucking people. Okay? But the point was, I kind of heard of them once or twice. TMZ fills me in on the rest of people I've never heard of and don't give a fuck. I only recently came to the conclusion that Rihanna was real by watching that Saturday Night Live video. And that's it. I don't know nothing about no fucking rap. Okay, I really don't. But anyway, all these. Oh, wait. And I said I wouldn't do Taylor Swift because it wouldn't be like I was doing anything. There's nothing to do there. But if I did Lady Gaga, the only problem is you fear that she would take your fucking soul, like Satan. And you're going, oh man, it's like, I'm kind of hung up here. If I do that one, it's going to be boring as shit and I'll suffer through it. And if I do that one, it'll be exciting, but I'm going to suffer at the end of it. Going to take fucking, my soul. Lady Gaga. So I'm like, no, no. It's damned if you do and damned if you don't. Anyway. So all the retards out there in the music industry throwing the Masonic signs or just fucking throwing signs, they don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They don't even know the handshakes, man. And the handshake shit's fucking 200 years old and everybody knows how to do it. They certainly don't know any of the greetings or anything else like that. Some of you know what I'm talking about. All right? They don't even know none of that shit. Okay? And, there's very interesting things I can say here just on the Mason deal on greetings and stuff that I am aware of by accident that I'm not certain are exactly right, but the point was, okay, they don't even know remotely what the fuck they're doing. And somebody explained to Maurice Dice that, motherfucker, the Illuminati and the Masons ain't the same shit. But I do have to say, he threw out that fucking Rick Ross over that, whatever he did, an album or a song named Freemason and shit, and he was saying he's a Freemason, and the Freemasons got pissed off at him. I said, you ain't no Freemason, you motherfucker. We don't want nothing to do with you. We don't want no rappers. And it's like, that's hilarious. So anyway, score one for Mark Dice, but then you got to cut it off and say, -5 Maurice because you fucked up. He can't differentiate the groups. All right, and they're just fucking corporations. And the Illuminati's not around anymore. Anyway, that is pretty much it, except for Lex Symbolica Traditio. Okay, you might look into that. Okay. Now, that is something else I have to get into, is I don't do symbology. I don't do symbology because you waste a fucking bunch of time. You're doing somebody else's work. Literally, Rahana can run a upside-down peace symbol or whatever have you. And I can say, oh, yeah, by the way, it means this. But the deal is that may be what it means, but that's a lot of fucking work. And Rihanna's the only one making any money on it unless her boyfriend's punching her in the eye, which, thank you, TMZ, I don't really care, but whatever. Some dude named Brown. I don't know. It's like the Kardashians. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I really don't keep up with it. Other than Craig Ferguson, that'd be about Craig Ferguson. Oh, shit. That's what we need to do. SG, Silver Guitar, and everybody. We need to flood, because he reads his tweets, right? We need to do Craig Ferguson. And let's just flood him with, not conspiracies, but just throw him, here, put the symbol up. Throw the triangle, Yeah, that'd be fucking great, dude. Jeff Peterson can't do it because he's only got one arm for a gay robot skeleton that talks. So he can't really throw a sign, but the deal is that would be fucking great, right? That'd be fucking throw the pyramid, Craig Ferguson. Why do you check the tweets? That's right. So anyway, because he reads his tweets and then reads them on show, so send him tweets and stuff. In fact, just send Mark fucking Dice a bunch of tweets or whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Okay. All right. Oh, that Downton Abbey thing is not all that bad. Interestingly enough, they're talking about what you would consider to be, I mean, I know it's a soap opera. What I'm saying is interesting. But it's at the changeover into the corporations from the families, which were still corporations, dumbass. But the deal is of the master slash servant relationship within a household, and it's not really like that. It's employee and it's a corporation. But the deal is that was at the time that when you worked for someone, it wasn't, you just didn't come in and work 8 to 5 in their house and leave. You lived there. You had a set of rules. You got paid. You did get days off. It was work, depending on your status. I don't know. I apologize if I offend some 200-year-old English motherfucker with this one. I don't know what a fucking footman is, though Downton Abbey's going to teach me eventually. But the deal, footmen, maids, I don't know, table serving people, right? Okay. Anyway, and how butlers work, but not butler. They're more like a head thing there. And they took care of them. Medical, you name it. They took care of all of it. They took care of all of it. And people don't realize that. Now, that is the fantasy version of how it worked. Okay? I'm sure in some places it actually worked like that. But over here in America, no, sir. It didn't. They put your ass out in a shack out back with fucking chinking, and when the wind blew, it came in your house, when it snowed. So, there you go. But anyway, I got a little bit closer as an update on the Lex Symbolica Traditio, and I was trying to work on a decoding procedure for Lex Symbolica Traditio. But anyway, remember that the Pope did say they were bringing dead Latin back, and then he retired. So I'm hoping the new Pope says, yeah, baby, we're bringing dead Latin back. Well, it's okay, because that's I'm already doing it. I appreciate it, the Vatican Corporation. Actually, I do appreciate that. It was a real language, I think, depending on how you want to look at that. Oh, Torquatus. That's right. He took over the Latins, you kook. Rome is not Latin. Romans took over the Latins. Hint, hint. All right, anyway, I think it was Torquatus. What's the same as saying magically one day the British, the Romans leave, the British are there, they beat up the Picts and the Scots. Who the fuck were the Picts? They didn't wipe out all the Picts. P-I-C-T-S. They changed their fucking names, so I guess they call them Welshmen now. I don't know. But you get the point. All right, so, yeah, there was white people there before Rome showed up. All right, anyway, that is it. I haven't kept up with anybody else. Sorry, Charlie. Sorry. I'll do that Judge Dredd video. There's a scene in it, Heaven, Hell, Finding, right? And in it, one scene, and it will forever show you the conspiracy. A real conspiracy, by the way. A conspiracy I helped to start. But not really. I'd be the second wave of it. Not Walmart, okay? I'd be the second wave. So that being said, remember, give a hoot, don't pollute, do not pray to Molech the owl god when you're at Bohemian Grove having supposedly gay sex with no documentation like Alex Jones. And Mark Dice, don't be a fucking weirdo. Nobody knows who the fuck George Orwell is, dude. And unless you're going to go into a 45-minute explanation of the motherfucker being a whack job eugenicist kook, right? What exact good is it going to do you? So don't, especially on TMZ, motherfucker, here's George Orwell. Yeah, that's like me going over there and saying, oh, excuse me, shit, I was going to use SGs. Harvey, right? That's like me telling Harvey, oh, by the way, it's the fucking eugenics experiments with the Eugenics Congress. They'll say, what the fuck? He don't care. He don't give a fuck. And it's like, oh, because that's not what he's making his money on. Why the fuck would he want to sell the eugenics? Oh, by the way, today in day's history, eugenics experiments, and forced lobotomies kicked off. It sounded good at the time, unless they did it to you. So, there's no reason to do that, Dice. There's not. Don't do it. Talk to Lee Harvey Levin, who's on the grassy knoll. He's on the grassy knoll, ain't he? Wait a minute. I think he's gay. So you are not on the grassy knoll, Lee Harvey. I have to let that go. So, however, if he was on the grassy knoll, the point was he's the king of TMZ, which seems to be popular, I guess. I don't know who none of the celebrities they are that they talk to, except for the older ones, I guess. You know. Anyway. So there you go, Dice. I don't know why I even did this fucking video other than to tell you, what the fuck? That'd be like me screaming at the top of my lungs. It's the Bell experiment, goddammit. It's a time machine. The fucking Nazis were doing time travel. It doesn't make a fuck if they really did or not, dude. Nobody gives a shit. It doesn't make a fuck if dragons really existed and they got a goddamn dictionary from 1673 stating that shit. This is a dragon. I didn't say it was a dragon in the fairy tale coloring books. They called snakes dragons, didn't they? That's right. Drove all the snakes out of Ireland. You mean he drove all the dragons out, is what you meant. So anyway, what exact good, Dice, would it do me to tell a fucking cuckoo like, I don't know, Jones, Kaiser, or any of the others? What the fuck good would it do if I was on TMZ telling the black guy, oh, by the way, just throw the fucking triangle symbol, and let's talk dead Latin with like Lex Symbolica Traditio and shit. And he's going to go, no, motherfucker, I would like to go home today. I'm tired of this shit. You know, I want to draw my goddamn paycheck and go home. You know, anyway, there you have it. That's it. Evidently, we're going to turn, if I can do it with SG and the others. I'm not cutting the others off their credit, their street cred. SG knows who they are. SG, whoever the dude was that originally said, yeah, Mark Dice needs to be on TMZ. That was hilarious. And fuck yeah, everybody was involved in saying, hey, go be on fucking TMZ, Mark Dice. Well, he's on there again. So the point was, if you're going to keep doing it, Dice, keep doing it. Because that would actually be interesting if you could get fucking Lee Harvey, Oswald Levin to fucking do conspiracy shit, but real light conspiracy shit. You know, like you're talking through your interview, you know, like, yeah, I was out talking to the rapper, let's pick somebody. I don't know rappers. I saw Taylor Swift on the street, right? Okay, now listen. And while I was on the street talking to Taylor Swift, I said, yeah, don't you know this shit's just like 1984 with George Orwell? Can you imagine that the eugenics experiments never actually stopped with MK Ultra? And then just go back to a real question, right? Like, what color is your favorite color? Oh, it would be a whole new fucking conspiracy field, and Lee Harvey would have to deal with every whack job kook motherfucker on the planet. Remembering Lee Harvey was the motherfucker that defended OJ. All right. Oh shit! I'm a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. But the point was, if you did shit like that, that would be fucking great, and you know it. You know it, right? The whole new fucking. If you took this the fake conspiracy bullshit mainstream, I'm telling you, it'd sell like hotcakes. It would. Now, obviously, you're not going to take the real fucking conspiracy shit. Nobody on TV, except obviously 0 Hour with Rosicrucians and shit. I am glad that they're talking about history that really did happen with a slight twist. Anyway, the point is, I would like to see some of the really stupid shit, like, you know, Dice goes and finds, help me out, Angelina Jolie, and is talking along. It's like, oh wait, man, did you know about the Bohemian Grove and them praying to Molech the Hoot Owl? By the way, how's Brad doing? You know, it's fuck everything up. And you would hear people, you know, they would run back home and they'd be going, what the fuck did he say to me? Google, my friend, what is this that they said? Right? It would fuck the whole world up eventually, right? It would. Every college kid in the whole goddamn nation would be talking about Molech the fucking hoot owl. You'd have T-shirts, you know, give a hoot, don't Molech, or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fuck. You know, an overnight fad. Fucking, let's all go get drunk with Molech. That'll be the saying. You know, stupid shit. There you have it. If you don't take chances, you don't. You know, no risk, no reward. Supposedly, that's what they say. But the good part is Lee Harvey will go broke, not me. So will Mark Dice, not me. But anyway, there you have it, kids. I haven't kept up with nobody else. Raw Dog said he got a job up there in Okie City. Ew. Okie City is what I'm talking about, not Raw Dog. Those two will go together like cottage cheese and fucking hot dogs. Don't you know? That's a lie. They'll probably go just fine. That is it for now. This motherfucker is way too long, but I didn't have nothing else to do. And I know you didn't because you're listening to this motherfucker right now. I bet you thought I was going to be like, it's all a conspiracy and shit. No, it's Lee Harvey and TMZ. And the black dude throwing triangles. And the stoner kid being so fucking stoned, he's hilarious, but don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And the blonde with the big boobies. That's right. That's that. I bet you. Well, and Dish. Okay, I'll eventually figure it out. They dropped one of the I guess you would say radio stations that was attached to it. But the deal is it's on TV, so it's, you know, like at each radio station they do it. The Dish or Dish Nation, I guess is what you would call it. It's pretty good. It's not bad. They just talk about stuff, you know, like Justin Bieber in a gas mask. Who the fuck is Justin Bieber? I still not figured that out. Do I care? You know, the kid's like 12 years old, isn't he? The fuck do I care about a 12-year-old walking around France or wherever with a fucking gas mask? If I was his mom, I'd beat his ass and send him to bed without no supper. I mean, it's a real fucking world. You'll make your $1 million tomorrow, but right now I'm going to beat your ass from being retarded. You know? It's kind of obvious that they need to do that to the rural kids. You know, the British rural kids, you know, running around naked taking pictures of each other. And it's like, what the fuck? You know, 1,000 years of running the goddamn world and you're doing this shit to me in public? What the fuck? Come here, Jeeves. Bend that motherfucker over your knee. Whoop his ass. Lizard or no lizard queen with goat hooves and shit like Mark, or Chunky Mark, you know, as he says. Goat hooves or not, your ass is getting a spanking. So anyway, there you go. Y'all take it easy. And that was my shout-out for Chunky Mark. I ain't pestered him a long time. I figured Max Kaiser would be back in this cab, but I don't guess so. I don't know. What the fuck, Kaiser? Why aren't you in the back of his cab driving around talking shit? Do that for a couple of shows. I don't actually know where they're located at. Kaiser. I don't really know. I do know he's in London once in a while, but the point is, do it! Because everybody knows, and I'm going to finish this with Gerald Celente. Gerald Celente, love him or hate him, the motherfucker's popular. Son, and I told you so. That's right. I told you I can pick fucking winners, not losers. All right? I can't do anything about Kokesh. That's his own fault. He had a chance. All right? He had a chance. He fucked it up. Got to be smoking the dope and shit all the time, whining. Goddamn COINTEL Pro Kokesh. Veach, I don't know about. Ooh, I haven't kept up with quite a bit of it. Anyway, on Celente, don't know how he picks that fucking music, but that's the old school shit, right? That's the shit your grandpa or my grandpa and them listen to, and you're like, what the fuck? When we was a kid, we sat around the fucking radio and Teddy Roosevelt would come on. Or Truman. Or whoever the fuck was before Truman. Wilson. And Wilson would tell us, hey, everything's going bad in World War I. And you're like, what kind of music they play? Well, you don't hear it shit no more, goddamn kids nowadays. Get off my yard. They listen to stupid shit like rock and roll. That was true, too. Anyway... But the big band era was decent music. The big band era, well, you got the 20s going into the big band, you know what I mean? The 20s is where they were experimenting with it pretty heavy. But not nowhere near here. I mean, that's experimental shit coming out from up north like New York City. and shit like that. Not that I would know anything about prohibition and running whiskey up to Chicago. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I don't know what you're fucking. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about neither. Isn't that right, Salente? Isn't that right? Huh? What was that? Salente knows the drill, right? He's the Italian Bill Clinton. What's a coming and a going? What's a coming and a going meatball? Okay, that's it. Don't drink and drive either. It's bad for you. Wow, an hour. An hour of complete waste of fucking time. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's a fucking conspiracy. He's a shillionaire. Sir Shillington. Yes, I am. I am Sir Shillington. Governor. So, anyway, that's it. Adios, everybody. Oh, and Dummy Dean is still in the pokey. Go, Dummy Dean. Free Dummy Dean. That's right. Trust law didn't work for him. Ha 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 ha.